GTR. That man was Steve Howe, one of the keys to a new rock group called GTR. GTR is short for guitar, by the way. Steve Howe and Steve Hackett form the core of the group, and both of them are virtuoso rock guitarists. Steve Howe was formerly guitarist for Yes in Asia, and Steve Hackett played guitar with Genesis. And it's nice to have both of you with us today.
It's very nice to be here.
Why did you think it was important to base the group around the guitar? You can start us out. I can't go wrong here today, Steve and Steve.
That's right. Well, we felt that keyboard technology had kind of moved on for the past few years and had left guitar behind to some extent. You know, you had all those guys out there playing blistering solos, but it was the keyboard players that were able to sound like one-man orchestras. Now that's changed with the advent of MIDI technology and complicated science, but basically we're doing things that we would normally farm out to keyboard players. So.
One has to ask, I mean, you two were both with incredibly successful bands. Why take the chance and then go off and start it on your own?
Well, I think it proves that we've still got ambitions that, you know, the other groups haven't totally fulfilled, and therefore it's an opportunity. And I think that, you know, the other musicians that we've got working with us are very hot too. So we've put together a nice package that appeals to us, and Steve and I have an adult sense of control over the situation and general direction. So that gives us pleasure.
Did you have any concerns about it? Did people say, come on, what are you going to do, leave this really big, successful band? And did you have doubts at all?
Well, I left my sort of so-called successful band in 1977. And I did a lot of solo stuff in between, but I guess, you know, I think people always tend to perceive things in terms of the amount of units moved, but personal success sometimes means stepping out on your own and taking risks.
Both of you are what are considered master rock guitarists. How does that work then, having you both work together?
Well, we have to give room for each other and make sure we don't trample all over areas. And I think finishing the record was the time when we kind of manipulated that technique, you know, to the best. And I think came out with a record that has two guitar styles evident in it, and the roles that we play are not only fun, but they're not as competitive as a wild man axe group, you know, heavy metal group that's going to wail away. This is a little bit subtler, I hope.
Your partner over here is like grinning a little.
That's right.
What's that smile on your face?
No, it is fiery, you know, at times. I mean, it has to be. I mean, we come from like different schools, and we don't always agree. I mean, obviously, so.
Do you learn from each other?
Absolutely, yeah. You know, I've never worked this closely with another guitarist, you know.
That's right.
So.
Well, you're out on tour now. I think you played in New York last night,
Just
right?
last night,
That's right.
What is the reaction from the fans? I mean, because a lot of them have your records at home from the groups you've been with. What's the reaction? Very
supportive, very exciting. Last night, that was a good example for us, and coming to New York's always a buzz anyway, but they seem to be right behind. The moves in our show take us through, you know, with GTR, our solo things, and a little bit of our pedigree histories. But I think the audience seem to want to go that way with this, and if you've got an audience that wants to go your way, then it's wonderful.
They enjoy the new form.
Yeah,
they invite it.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, they seem to like the format, they seem to like the overall show. It's going good.
Well, good luck to you. You're off, I know, on the rest of your tour. You're going to be living out of a suitcase for a while. Good luck with the album.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Jan.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to see you.
We're going to be back in just a minute after this from Ballpark Franks.
I'm sure that all of you know that Ballpark Franks plump when you cook them. And if you don't, you're in for quite a treat. Because the very first time you cook Ballpark Franks and they start to plump, you realize what a delicious sight that is. And they are delicious. They're made from lean beef, juicy pork, and tender veal with no sugar or fillers. So find out for yourself, because though seeing is believing, eating Ballpark Franks is where all the fun is.
If 6 different fruits appeal to several different people, what one thing appeals to everyone? A box of Jell-O brand gelatin. Not only does it make Susan's strawberries stupendous and Greg's grapes great, it makes Maggie's melons magnificent and Anna's bananas even better, and Adam's apples amazing, and Arnold's oranges outstanding. So if you find fruit appealing, see your favorite magazines. Because if there's one thing a piece of fruit finds appealing, it's Jell-O gelatin, and that appeals to everyone. Jell-O gelatin. We've got fruit appeal.